Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Hello everybody, welcome to FS Discussions. We're here with our first official video. We're going to be discussing a couple of different things today. We have a couple of topics up in play. We have new generation discipline versus old, and second we have coming up is the power of forgiveness. We're going to get right into it and start it off with our creator. Let's get it, Mr. Jidden.
Alright. Old generation discipline, I mean, we all know, 90s kids. We got the butt beads, the switches, the stitching cords, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in this new age, this new generation of discipline, I feel like we have to be more, cognizant of our kids now, because it's like now, instead of getting a whooping and just getting a whooping, people is now claiming that to be physical abuse.
Yeah.
And, when kids go to school and their teachers see that, it's like now it's no more, oh, what happened? It's like, okay, what's going on? Do I need to call CPS or something like that? Because you have bruises on your skin. What's going on in your household? So it's like we have to just be, cognizant of the new generation, how the world works is, and just be careful of the things we do as discipline.
Okay, Ariel, do you want to jump into that?
So old generation discipline, I consider is pretty much, I always got warnings before I got whooping. So you can consider in this new generation of discipline, you can also consider the warnings before whooping. Like once I give you like this third warning, I didn't talk to you about the third time, be prepared. A whooping is next. That's the next thing that's gonna happen.
Okay, I can understand that. Trey, you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I mean, to just go on to the points from Beef here, you just got to be more thoughtful about your approach and discipline, knowing that the times change. I mean, our children are they're more smart, they're more intuitive, so we can reach them on a deeper level than we could reach ourselves as children. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can look back at your childhood, knowing yourself, and use that as grounds to understand your children today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I understand what you all are saying, and I feel like a kid from an old time versus a kid from this time is just a kid with different things. That doesn't change that we were all kids at one point. Mm-hmm. So why is it that there has to be a shift in how we were raised? If we all made it here fine to this point, why is it now that there has to be a shift in the way we should be doing things? Ari, what do you think?
It's more socialized now. Like kids, they're a lot more open now than they used to be. Mm-hmm. As a child, I felt like I was sheltered, so I really didn't. When I went to school, I talked to my friends, but I never talked to my teachers about what was going on at home. And so I now teachers are more. Once you drop your child off at school, they're surrounded by people who want to know more about them, their lifestyle, and all that other stuff. Therefore, it's giving them that opportunity to talk more with other people about what's going on in their life. Okay. And then, therefore, you bring other people into your family. Okay. And they have their opinions about what whoopings.
Yeah. Rodney, I'm going to ask you kind of the same question. Do you think that the whoopings have increased more just in the severity of them versus it's just more publicized now?
I think it's a little bit more publicized. I feel like we shouldn't, if we're going to go the route of whooping our kids, we shouldn't put it on camera or put it on social media. That's you basically saying, okay, it's cool, I can allow the world to see what I'm doing in my household. Okay. But you don't want them to, give them your opinions of what you're doing. So it's like, why would you even put it on camera or on social media?
Sure, you want to touch on that?
Yeah, because I mean, the fact that things are being publicized more and we know that, then from there, if you're going to take the route of physical discipline on your children, you have to make sure they all understand that you have to keep everything in the house. Mm-hmm. And you have to do your part as an adult and not publicizing the way you discipline your children. Mm-hmm. Because discipline is all about making your children a better person. There's no need to publicize anything. Okay. And you have to understand that your kids have to also understand that you're keeping that discipline and everything in the house only.
Okay. So when you say publicizing or, just putting out there the discipline that you put in on your child. It's just nowadays how we or our parents or people communicate is through social media. But that isn't any different from how you would get that ass whooping and your mom will be on the phone talking to your aunt like I had to whoop his ass. So it's still that sharing of what's going on in your household. It's just the way that we communicate with our friends and family is different now, right?
Right.
Okay, so at that point, do you think that the discussion stops? Because it seems like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
People talk then, people talk now. It's just the way that we communicate is different. So is it that just because the communication form is different, we should change what we do? Because it seems like the actions have always been the same.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just for some reason it's out publicly now.
Yeah, and from parent to parent, that's fine because it's all still keeping things in the family. May not be the household, but when you're letting someone else in the family know about your discipline methods, you're almost understanding that they're going to keep it private. They're going to keep it within the family. Whereas strangers, friends, teachers, everything else, you're risking the possibility of it being highly publicized. You don't know that your friend is going to keep your secret that, oh, I had a beating, I got a whooping yesterday for doing this or that. You can almost expect that you telling another person will spread it like wildfire, just like another secret in school.
Okay. Well, we touched a lot on that. I want to kind of shift the focus here and go ahead and move on to the power of forgiveness. We want to touch on the power of forgiveness not only in our personal relationships with maybe our partners, but also in our families and friends. So, Ariel, we'll start with you with the power of forgiveness, and what do you feel each person should have their own take on that?
I'm a firm believer of forgiving and not forgetting.
Okay.
I just like, I can be with my family and I can still just have like a wonderful time with them and stuff like that. When I come across a person who I've had an issue with, I'm not negative towards them at all.
So you don't hold grudges?
No, there's no need for me to. Like I'm gonna be cordial with you. I'm gonna talk to you and stuff like that. But other than that, I will remember what it is that you did that got me to the point of having this conversation with you. But other than that, I'm always show respect to somebody regardless.
Okay. I see you shaking your head. Are you agreeing with her, or what do you feel like your viewpoints are on this?
Yeah, I totally agree with what Ariel was saying. I'm also the same way. I'm a very forgiving person, but I never forget. So as far as family, we can be cool, but you're gonna stay. As far as relationship wise, you're gonna be at the acquaintance stage. You're never gonna be like homeboy or best uncle or best something like that. Like it's like we cool, but we not cool like outside of whatever like the family thing are we doing, such as like a cookout or a family reunion. Like after we leave the family reunion, like we're back to
Okay. Trey, you want to touch on that?
Yeah. Okay, so I think we should just all come to an understanding of what forgiveness is. And forgiveness is not forgetting by any means, but at the same time, it's for yourself and your inner being and not harboring negative emotions through a grudge. If there is a grudge between two people, then that's when you need to communicate. But if you're the only person holding a grudge and the person that you may have had an altercation with is not thinking about it, then you're the one feeling negative and they're the one feeling positive. So you can't hold yourself down through negative emotions, but you always have to remember and use every learning experience as just that. So from there, you know how to act with the person moving forward, but then again, you never forget what happened in the past.
Okay. I hear forgive, never forget a lot from all of you. Jaden, what is a grudge?
It could be a various things. If you have a grudge towards somebody, you can plot on getting revenge on that person. You can plot on doing something that that will ruin his life or something like that. In terms of ruining his life or something. But I mean, grudges can be whatever that person who has that grudge, you know, whatever he makes the grudge be, you know, it can be whatever.
Sure, you agree with that?
Yeah, and I just feel like a grudge itself is just you harboring negative emotions.
Exactly.
And you have to understand that that grudge and you harboring or planning upon negative activities is not going to help yourself whatsoever. And I mean, really, when people start to plot from there, it's a way to alleviate their negative feelings towards that person. But we have to understand that that's going to stem into the two wrongs do not make a right phrase. And you have to understand that to release that negative emotion, you have to go about it in a positive way, so that you don't create further conflicts with that person or anybody else involved.
Okay, so what if you are dealing, let's say, with a person that they would describe as a toxic person, but this is a person that is a person in your life as a family member that's close enough where it's just like you can't just not have them, you know, in your life, but they keep giving you the reason to have to forgive them. So what do you do in that situation is people keep giving you reasons to where you have to forgive them, but it's a person that you can't normally just cut off, let's say, per se, a mom or a dad.
Time comes into that effect, like just time away from that person. Like, of course, you're gonna have the conversation, like, you guys will have a face-to-face conversation on what the issue is that you're holding a grudge towards each other for, but also understanding that, okay, give each other space to find out like where you guys can come into terms on common ground with this issue.
Okay.
And regardless if it may take a year, but you know, just give that person that space, you know, because sometimes, you know, they may realize on themselves like, oh man, I was acting crazy in this situation. It could have went totally different. But holding a grudge, I was just blocking myself off from this person, not really understanding why.
And that's a great point from Ariel, because it's about you trying to keep everything positive. So we're preaching positivity. So you do not allow that person to be able to reflect on their own negative actions if you're going back and forth trying to get each other and feel like you're getting that one up. That person's not going to sit back and think, oh man, I was really treating this person wrong, if you're always creating negative experiences around you. That person's going to be more associated with, how do I get this person back now?
So it's really for yourself.
Really for yourself, and to create positive experiences moving forward.
So is forgiveness easy?
Not at all.
No,
not at all.
That's why I said it takes time. It really takes time to like just dig deep within and try to like find that part like makes me feel like I have to forgive this person, whether it's an inner thing or just like an emotional thing. Like that's something that you have to do on your own.
So can you guys give me an example or one thing that you use as a tool to help you in the forgiveness of a person?
So mentally, I find it that you have to love yourself, and if you truly love yourself, you will love yourself enough to let go of negative experiences, to allow yourself to elevate in a positive manner. You have to understand it may not be what that person did or anything going on in your mind or in your spirit, but it's about letting go so you yourself can elevate going forward.
Gotcha. Okay, so it seems like you got a common consensus on how we feel about forgiveness, and that is for yourself. It's not easy to do, but ultimately it's something you should do in order to move forward in your own life.
Right.
Okay. Well, you know, we had a good conversation on that. These topics can kind of blend a little bit, you know, with the power of forgiveness and, you know, generational discipline, you know, because you have to forgive your kids for the things they do, and as kids you have to learn to forgive your parents as well. You know, but it's all a learning curve from what we see here. Is there any ending statement that you all want to give?
Okay.
Well, I mean, stay positive. That's what we're preaching here. Stay positive, and you're going to create positivity going forward.
Okay.
There's no amount of negative that's going to allow a positive outcome. So you just have to understand that, guys. I mean, thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for being involved in our opinions and our discussion. And we'd like to see you guys moving forward.
Yeah. You like to add anything?
I would say my input would be like communication. I feel like, you know, a lot of things would have been different if we like had my family had the communication out there, but I feel like communication is always key.
You agree?
Yeah, and I just want to harbor about a little bit on the time thing for the forgiveness. Just remember we're all human. Like we're gonna feel emotions. You know, like if that person does something, like you're gonna feel angry. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel disappointment. You're gonna be sad. You know, and with that time, just take that time to, you know, think about the things, you know, and get to the positive mindset of forgiving that person, you know, before you actually, you know, next time you confront that person, you won't have negative, you know, thoughts of like, oh yeah, I remember what you did to me, let me get this guy, you know what I'm saying? So like, just you know, use your time when you have to forgive. Everybody can't forgive off top. Like sometimes people gonna need time in order to forgive. So don't think, you know, you know, you just have to forgive off top. Like it is a working process. You know, like we said, forgiveness is not easy. So
okay, well, we heard a lot here today. Forgiveness, disciplining your kids. Hey, remember, just stay positive. Keep that positive energy moving in your life. We thank you all for joining us here today for FS Discussions.